House Stark has ruled the North from their seat of Winterfell for thousands of years, and are beloved within their own kingdom. After the Red Wedding, pretty much everyone except the Boltons and maybe the Ryswells are working towards Stark restoration within Winterfell. By contrast, the Tyrells are some upjumped stewards who took over after the conquest by surrendering Highgarden despite other houses having much better claims, and there is very little respect for their authority. When they remain neutral during the dance, everybody does their own thing. When the Starks do it, everybody else follows their lead. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and also click on the notification bell to remain updated. And the Tyrells have lost even more support with their recent, super reckless, seizure of Brightwater Keep from the Florents, which has helped create a rift between them and several pretty prominent houses in the Reach, like the Hightowers. The Tyrells thrive on intermarriages and institutional control to retain power, while the Starks haven't had a northern intermarriage in damn near 50 years and are still beloved. The Starks have the respect of their vassals, stemming from thousands of years ruling over and protecting the North. They fought off the wildlings and the Undulls, not to mention slavers and the Ironborn. Meanwhile, the Tyrells were the stewards of House Gardner, who had a similar position in the Reach as the Starks did in the North. Not exactly glamorous or that respectable, and that it didn't really help their image that they were given the Reach because they were the ones who surrendered it to Aegon. It definitely helped their position, but not the respect. It's mentioned that there are other houses in the Reach that seem to have had closer ties to the Gardners and as such, consider themselves better heirs to their position. Even their history under the Targaryen reign speaks volumes. Tyrell's bannermen get involved in royal politics, essentially getting more power and influence than their nominal liege lords during the reign of Viserys I and the Dance of the Dragons. Tyrells are generally conspicuously inactive during most of the conflict, while Lord Stark arrives late to the war and still is able to leverage much more power than anyone else, who actually fought in that war. Legitimate war heroes and lords paramount who were heavily involved and could be credited with winning the war take a back seat because Cregan Stark was that intimidating to them. He could have waged war for years more, if the Greens hadn't surrendered. He also simply took the office of Hand and judged everyone he deemed a traitor. I'm not sure how much of a resistance from the other lords he would face if he decided to keep the power instead of going back home, but just the fact that he was able to control the capital completely despite having very little involvement in the warfare speaks volumes of the respect he had. The Tyrells are quite powerful and rich, but they're not respected or feared. The Starks don't command as many men and don't have as much gold, but they have the respect of their vassals, as evidenced not just by history, but also by the attitude of the Manderleys and the Mountain clans, and respect of other kingdoms. Starks have been kings. Starks are greatly respected in the North. Starks are the wardens of the North, the biggest of the 7 kingdoms. Tyrells are seen as stewards and not in the vein of being equal to the stewards of Gondor. Here are Lady Olenna's own words about the matter. You Starks were kings once, the Arryns and the Lannisters as well, and even the Baratheons through the female line, but the Tyrells were no more than stewards until Aegon the Dragon came along and cooked the rightful king of the Reach on the field of fire. If truth be told, even our claim to Highgarden is a bit dodgy, just as those dreadful Florents are always whining. What does it matter, you ask, and of course it doesn't, except to oafs like my son. The thought that one day he may see his grandson with his arse on the Iron Throne makes Mace puff up like, now, what do you call it? Marjorie, you're clever, be a dear and tell your poor old half-daft grandmother the name of that queer fish from the Summer Isles that puffs up to 10 times its own size when you poke it. My son ought to take the puff fish for his sigil, if truth be told. He could put a crown on it, the way the Baratheons do their stag, mayhap that would make him happy. Thanks for watching, please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.